this was recommended by a good friend, and I think it's just a perfect contribution to C64 Dev Machine. You can see there in the background. I'm just opening it up right now as we speak, so let me just move the camera so you can see a bit more. I do need to get a better camera. Notice this one's a wee bit fuzzy. So, oh, nice new smell. It's almost like having a Commodore 64. Let me just take this Wacom tablet away, because you'll see actually I do also have something very cool here as well. So that is from the Last Ninja Collection Kickstarter limited edition, and I've got it all crumbs. Right, back to this guy. Yeah, I'll just pass all the crumbs to it already. So here we go. This is the, oh dude, this is like having a little mini Commodore 64. Look at it, it's brilliant. Oh man, this is nostalgic. This is probably as nostalgic as getting a C64 Ultimate, to be fair. I kinda needed this. Oh man, it's so heavy. That, dude, look at that. Oh, oh, oh. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's some ASMR right there. That's great. This looks kind of interesting. Giant buttons just in case. A and B. Oh mate, that's proper cool. This is like Christmas, like a late Christmas present for myself. It's solid, it's freaking solid. I've never bought anything so solid in my life. Like, the thing weighs proper. It's got a proper weight to it. Everything's just solid, man. Like, so I take it, I just click that in like so. Oh, that's, it's like butter. The thing is like butter, man. I finally figured that out. Finally, it made some sort of sense, which is what I thought. But it was a lot of just trial and error, really, just mucking about and trying stuff. So basically, you have to have the num keys set up. So numpad or whatever is a good idea. So this is Vice's numpad for joystick 2. So it's just a numpad really. So I've now got that assigned. So it is kind of weird, I must admit. So you've got 6 and 2 here, right, which is right and down, and then for here is 8 and 4, which is up and left. Right, and you just sort of choose them and choose numpad, choose a number, save it, and I've got A there. So I've got it all mapped out now and saved to that personal profile. And I guess that's, you close this, exit, minimize, minimize. I guess it needs to run in the background. So with that done, then we've got up, down, left, right, and fire. And that's finally it set up. But let me just show you the joystick macro now that that's working. And I'll just say, I'm just going to set all of these up, not all of them up. I'll set up, down, left, right to begin with. Right, and fire. So, click an org block, put an address in, call this fire. Yeah, I'll just do a code block, I guess. What I could actually do is use a variable and then get this to store the variable into LDA let's get it input, right, and it doesn't exist yet. I'm just going to try this Let's close that. These are all just going to set. Get rid of these. I'll just rename this one. Can you rename them? I don't think you can rename them. So new by input. Yeah. I'll just do input. Input. Right. I think you have to call it the same UV underscore. There we go. Right. There we go. So that's what we want. So that's just gonna. I'll just call it inject color. Inject color. Right, that's dead simple, and it just means that for each of these, I just make a little routine where all I'm going to do is set my UV input to a value. So for fire, it's going to be white. I'll do fallback as well. So this is just going to then jump back to, yeah, I'll just call this target. Jump to target. I'll put in to address there target or loop. I'll call it loop or check joy. Oh, automatically updated. Beautiful. Right, I forgot to put that in there. So fire. Throw another one here, or we can code down the way. I'll just put the fire. I'll put the fire and the fallback here. So I'll just control drag them. Call that fallback. Right, and that's going to be 0. So let's just check that to begin with. This also needs to jump back. So that's the loop. And let's try it. Oh, I'm going to get, maybe going to get errors if they're looking for callouts, but anyway. It's doing something that sort of goes hazy there. I'll put in a V-weight just to be sure. V-weight. I was going to take that out anyway, to be fair. It was something that just never filtered off. That is this tool in a nutshell, really. Code in IRQ are advanced features. IRQ needs a SID. As I've said before in another video, I think if you've got a SID, a bunch of SID tracks, make your first track empty. Let your track 0 just be nothing, and then put it in there, and what that will do is that will just tick. That will tick at the right time, so that everything else, like IRQ related, ticks after it. The music has to sort of happen first. It's got the highest priority, so that it sounds good. So it basically just tick the music, finds out all your IRQ cues and sorts them. And then like your IRQ will have a function in it that's got a GSR that it's looking for, right? And you just find it from all your labels, right? It's a subroutine that it goes and carries out. It requires unlocking the kernel as well, because it uses FFFF, FFFE, the two last addresses, and it's advanced stuff, right? That's why it's in the extra section. If you're going to use this, to its full potential, you're going to want it unlock like so, and that will inject these labels, this kernel unlock, and you can also unlock basic. And if you know what you're doing, you just code that in anyway. If you do it by code, I don't think it will show here that the unlock happens from clicking here. You can't unlock this one, that's out of bounds. There's a few advanced things being worked on to do with load orgs. Load orgs will house an asset. So for example, if you brought in like a character set, and in character sets you can actually now make your own one. If you just do add row, you can start to make your own characters. I'm still working on that. That's very early days yet, but you can then go here and basically say that you want to have character set be loaded at a different point in time, right? It's occupying the memory here, but what I'm going to do if it's being loaded, I mean it's still intentionally going to be loaded into that same place, but it's nothing to do with the current setup, because you're going to load this in later, right? So it will be part of a D64, and what happens is if you do have the load org used and you press build and run, it will fire up a D64, and you'll see it will be different. I think that was right. That was just very fast. I guess I've been messed about with bigger files, but if I was to, yeah, I think that was right. Poke 5 53270, 12. That's not actually typing in, is it? Right. So that it loaded the character set, but it changed the mode, so we couldn't really see it. It was a nonsense character set. I mean, I can load in one. Can load in a character set. So let's just do that. There's a little basic one there. Close that. That should work. Right. 911. The ones look weird. Everything looks a bit odd. Probably for a reason, I forget why. Oh, well, one just looks like that, so it's a bit corrupt. It needs, some of them need a bit of cleanup. These were converted, so that should actually be that, because how that easy to fix it, right? What was I saying? Right, so that loads up. I think it's a disk. Let me just escape it really quick. Right, and if you reload, which is so nice with this keyboard, and then list, there you go. It's a disk. The only problem I have right now is it's showing 0 blocks. I've not figured out how to get that right yet. But the blocks free is correct. You can see that they're using up some sort of data between these two, and you'll see that the character set loaded because it was connected, right? It loaded because it was connected. So if I take this out and I do it again, so F5 if you've got the load org here, yeah, that should be done, right? I can't escape out of this, but what I can do is I would have to have caught that very quickly, but it was so quick. What I would have to do is attach the disk image, which is in your C drive, C64 temp program. You can see it there. Yeah, if you attach that, you'd have to reset first. Reset, hard reset. Attach disk image. Okay, drive A, and then load. Right, and list. Okay, I want to show you, so I want to show you something that will hopefully make sense. If I do Alt H and show the contents of 2000 to 2200, right, you'll see there's nothing in there, right? There's nothing in there. So you can imagine now, if at some point in my game your game, you're like, okay, well that's because this has not been used in this core code, right? But you might have a section of code later, like you get to a certain level and you want to bring in a new tile set. Then that's going to kick in a new macro, which I'll bring in. It will be called a loader macro, and it will basically use a load org. It will look at the load org. The load org will then say, well, I'm going to load the character set and everything else in that load org, right? It's kind of like a disk essentially, or specific files that you might want to load in. So it will look at the disk and it will ask you what file, right? And then you would load your files in like that. So it would essentially do something like load ch star comma 8 comma 1, right? And that's essentially loading the character set into memory now. So if I do Alt H now and I just go up, that last command, boom, that's your character set data. Right, that's what made up that font. In fact, if I now do what that node does, the character set macro, right, and you choose a character set here, it will say DO1819 DO1608. So let's try that again. Poke 53270,8. And there you go. That is how you basically change the characters with pokes, and how you get the addresses from macro car set if you wanted to change them. So you're loading them in and then you're doing these like commands, and that would show the tile set or whatever, if it's not shown already. Depends what you want. You might load in a bitmap, show a bitmap, load in new SID tracks, etc. So all that loader stuff is going to be super handy. There's more to be done, and I'm looking forward to doing more, and these kind of templates. So this would essentially be, I'll add a comment, this is like a joystick, full joystick setup template, if you like, and I really want to fix that so it's better. Okay, and then I can just plop that up here, zoom out, right, and yeah, true enough, you can move. Full joystick template, and you're good to go with that. So I'm just going to save that. Alright, hopefully that's the biggest ever tutorial that you need for this tool. Obviously you can do way more than that. I'm going to cover things as I go. There's just too much to cover. It's a full blown thing now. You can make a game with it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and it's a full-blown tool now. It can do pretty much everything that you want and make a game to your heart's content. It's a version 0.985 at the minute, very close to version 1, but I'm going to give it a graphics overhaul and everything should be good to go. So thanks for watching, sticking around for the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!